we're
I
gonna
told
try.
her that you thought it was locked.
Yeah,
She was just in there today.
I just got her data yesterday.
And as far as like KU's passwords and stuff like that, Karen Vance was asking me. I said, I don't think we need KU's passwords and stuff do we on that
Shouldn't.
program. I just figured it's a program we're gonna use. We should be able to log. I don't know anything about that program. I don't even know what program it is.
It's
So,
bookkeeper software. It should
What
be
is it?
bookkeeper or something. I'm sure
I
that.
could be wrong, but if not, I'll ask her. I'll just call her and say we need your password.
Yeah, I mean, there should be like a sysadmin password.
Yeah, because I know y'all copied all that.
Well, we copy it, but I don't know how that used to be. I don't actually know what.
Yeah, well, they're going to meet Friday, so I don't know if I'll need any help or not. But
Okay.
she's still fine getting on there.
Yeah, she's on hopefully this week.
I'd like to welcome everyone to the July Elizabethton City Schools Board of Education meeting. Can't believe it's July. So, wow. If everyone would, please stand, and Dr. G, would you mind leading us in the pledge flag and moment of silence?
Okay, let's have our moment of silence. Thank you. Attention, salute, pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks. It's time for citizens to speak in accordance with Board Policy 1.404. Anyone wishing to address the board, please come forward and state your name and address. Seeing none, we will move on. It's time to approve the consent and regular agenda. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
May I have questions or comments? Before we vote, I would remind everybody it's probably a good idea to be scheduling your TSBA training. So I see Susan's getting that taken care of right off the bat. So
What?
on your TSBA training,
Oh.
good for you. And if anyone can, I really recommend trying to go to Nashville to the annual convention and leadership conference. Dr. G goes. I know Mrs. Perkins goes. I went last year. I'm planning on going again. It's a lot of good information. So if you can make that work, that would be great. Any other questions or comments? Item on the floor is to approve the consent and regular agenda. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Dr. G?
Okay, this month we are fast approaching our back-to-school bash. I'd like to thank all of you who have offered to help and can help on that day. And also, we're just proud to say that we have about 40 sponsors and people who have come out in support, and we have more joining each day that want to come and be a part of the educational part of it, which is offering services and also helping provide backpacks for children for them to be ready to start school. We have one more little item on the pool that we're working on the next couple of weeks, and we're fast approaching that. In the month of September, we'll be doing 2 rededications. One dedication will be for the wrestling room that we've created. The other will be a rededication of the pool with everything that we've done there this year, getting ready to outfit the community and our students. More information on that coming next month. I want to remind you of the in-service luncheon that we have for all staff that will be held the 5th of August at noon in the Commons area at the high school. So if you're able to attend, we'd love to have you on that day. We're going to try to have all staff be there to where we can feed them and be ready to start the year together. As last month, I remind you of the 29th. We have the leadership retreat at 9 o'clock on the 29th of this month, which is next Friday. And we'd love for any board members to attend if you possibly could.
Is this the one that Mrs. Owens will be here?
Yes, that's the time, and we're one of the items we have to discuss that we talked about last board meeting is going to be our social media policy, and she's going to talk about that on that day as well.
Can you say that date again?
The 29th at 9 o'clock,
July.
July. Yes, in the boardroom.
Is that all day, or is that through noon?
Through noon, we will have her as our guest speaker for the morning, and then we'll have lunch provided for everyone. And then the afternoon, you're welcome to say we're going to have a leadership meeting of everyone. We're just doing goal setting for the year, and trying to make sure that that we're ready to move forward with all of our programs. So each department's going to report kind of what their goals are for the year and what we're doing there. So that'll be a great time for us to get our focus. I'll also be sharing the system focus at that point. Thank you for allowing me to attend the Summer Law Conference this week with TSBA. We've hit a few snags there, but I think that we may be able to get through that and me attend that this week. Also, our track is almost finished. We have some fencing to go. The sign is going up. It should be finished almost by now. We'll be running power to that this week, and the front fencing will be finished, and our maintenance crew will be painting some of the fence, and it will look really nice at the end of this week. So we're very happy about that. Mr. Laporte and the Laporte Foundation, Tri-City Citizens Bank Foundation, will be making their donation probably in the next week or so for us to be able to finish paying for the track.
Do you know if we have any meets scheduled this year?
At this point, we probably start scheduling for spring. We'll probably start that in the month of October. So, but as far as us wanting to hold a meet this year and having meets here, yes.
So we'll be certified in time to get on the schedule.
Yes, we're ready. We'll be ready to have some here this year. So we're excited about that. One of the things I've been doing over the last couple of weeks is meeting with principals, really sitting down with each person and talking to them about their goals for their individual building. And I've had an opportunity to just sit and ask them kind of what they need out of me this year and how I can help them, and also what my expectations are for them. And so that's gone very well, and that's leading up to our 29th meeting where they're going to be sharing their goals for the year. Before you leave, if you can give me your t-shirt size for our t-shirt order that we're going to be doing for our system-wide t-shirt order, I would appreciate that. And I want to say a kind word to Becca Price, who's been great, working really hard on our public relations endeavor, and she launched our Facebook page today. And we already have a lot of people. Our message has reached about 2,000 people today. Where she's looking at our analytics so far, and she had a lot of people, about 135 share our site. So we're very positive about that. We're looking forward to making that a system-wide area where people can go to and have information about individual schools and the school system. So if you'd like us on Facebook, we would appreciate it. Our last thing today is going to be our picture. So she's going to take our picture for us today. So everybody's ready for that. I'll suck in my stomach.
Make sure you have good filters and
We were supposed to
flattering
dress up.
angles.
So if you want to come down, we'll take our picture.
Are we doing that now?
Oh, right now?
How's it? Are you
I thought
going
we
to
did at the end. Yeah, let's do it at the end.
Fine.
Oh, let's do it now.
I think we need a selfie.
Okay.
That's
Let's
how
vote. Let's vote.
They hit me on this one too. And this one.
Anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
All right. I'd like to thank the city for, we had an increase in our annual appropriation. So when you see a city council member, let's thank them. Please, we will use that money very carefully, but wow, we do appreciate an increase. That was great. So make sure we say thank you. All right. Well, let's move on to the regular agenda. First item is approve ratification of the purchase of backpacks from IDS Blue Source in the amount not to exceed $18,931.28 for the 2016 Back to School Bash. Donations will be received to cover the cost. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
May you have any questions?
I know, Corey, you mentioned we had 40 sponsors. What does that come to monetarily?
Right now, we're about, it's kind of hard to say. We have some people that are giving in kind that say that we had a company that would say, I'm going to purchase something for it, or a church say, I'll purchase. But as far as cash in hand, we're somewhere close to about $13,000 today. We've already ordered about 800 backpacks. We have a little bit money for a little bit more. And like I said, we have people contacting us right now, so we will likely do 2 orders of backpacks. If more money comes in, we will try to service as many students as we possibly can. So we're so appreciative of everything that our town has done to support our children. It's amazing. And the churches and businesses and individuals, I think it's just pretty neat.
Yeah, that's great.
We've made a lot of progress.
The 18.9, that includes the backpack stuff. I mean, that's a full backpack. Okay?
It is.
With the items that you sent out. Okay.
Right.
Any other questions or comments?
The Cedar Grove Foundation is aware of it too. I mentioned it when I was partying with them this weekend, and they're very appreciative that this is happening.
Their representative come see me yesterday, so
Mhm.
and we were talking a little bit about that. So they're trying to rally support in their community too, and the community around us. So pretty neat.
Item on the floor, approve ratification of the purchase of backpacks from IDS Blue Source in the amount not to exceed $18,931.28 for the 2016 Back to School Bash. Donations will be received to cover the costs. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve cost reimbursement subaward agreement between East Tennessee State University and Elizabethton City Schools for contract number 220017-05. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
This program is for a walking program that Miss Carrie Taylor through the SP program. She applied for a grant through ETSU, so we received that. It'll be $2,500 for our kids for a walking program.
You said this was for ESP?
Yes.
Cool. Anybody have any questions? All right. Item on the floor is to approve cost reimbursement subaward agreement between East Tennessee State University and Elizabethton City Schools for contract number 220017-05. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Next item, approve the equipment lease and service agreement with Nova Copy for the term of 60 months at the rate of $4,644.74 per month beginning 7/20/16. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
The equipment lease and purchase with what we're doing is for 60 months, of course, but it also, this particular program is probably one that more like Dr. May had introduced us to at the very beginning. It took us a while to find a vendor that would do a lot of what he was talking about, and when he saw what his company was doing. So we looked at some different bids and quotations. We didn't have anything that we had a buy-in that was less than $100,000 to get started. And so when we found what Dr. May was referring to, this company was able to come in, and we also, during the process, contacted the city because they've moved with Novacopy as well prior to us doing it, and they've been happy with their service through the city of Elizabethton. So we feel that with no upfront cost in the purchase, this is definitely the way to go for our school system. So what you're seeing, the $4,644.74 is per month, but that will service the entire school system.
Wow.
Did you negotiate where the paper was going to come from? Remember we talked about that?
Well, one thing
For the
Miss
classrooms?
one thing that Miss Wilson and I talked about was, looking at what their price was delivered. And the option that they have is a bulk order all at one time. We'd have to store that. When we started looking at comparing their price to prices we had already received, we are already getting it cheaper than what they could provide. So with that, we'll continue buying from the vendor we do. They can ship us amounts in smaller portions directly to the area where we need it to go. So for us, that's all the way around, human resources wise and cost wise, it's better.
Any other questions? Okay, item on the floor is to approve the equipment lease and service agreement with Novacopy for the term of 60 months at the rate of $4,644.74 per month, beginning 7/20/16. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Last item, approve on first reading Board Policy 2.806, bids and quotations as revised. Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. We're working this summer with our inmates, and we're doing a lot of projects. And one of the things that has happened over a period of time is there are times when we have to make repairs and look at a specific project. And what we're doing is we're having to get quotations on anything above $300. And you can imagine when this policy was written initially and with the city, $300 is a very low amount because we're having to stop work in order to get quotations on what we're doing. And we have people there and we're waiting on those materials and things to do it. And right now, I don't know if it's just here, but all across the city, having inmate labor to help us saves us a lot of cost and that type of thing, but we're having a lot of trouble getting them at this point. So it even has compounded the problem. But one of the things that we looked at was we looked at the state statute, we called the city to see what they're currently doing, and we tried to say, is there a way that we could loosen this up just a little bit to try to help us do business a little bit more efficiently, but also keep our safeguards in place. No matter what, when we go to bid out a project, when we get to $10,000, it's required by law that we do that. However, anything, we could look at this amount if we put an administrative procedure in place that we could up the amount from 300 to something more reasonable to help us do business a little bit better. So what we're asking the board is that you would give us the opportunity to make a procedure that we would follow. We would bring that back to the board. But what we have initially thought is more in line. We asked the city kind of where they were. They do not even start looking at quotations till we get to the $5,000 mark. We felt like that was a little too loose. We thought $5,000 is a pretty big amount of money, but maybe we could look at $2,500. That gives us plenty of opportunity to purchase things on a daily basis. We talked to the maintenance gentleman this week, ask them what they're mostly purchasing and what the amounts are. And $2,500 to our maintenance foreman felt to be, that's, you know, we felt that that's still being fiscally responsible, but also saying that we would have a little bit more, we could do things more efficiently. So that's where we're asking the board, if you would allow us to move it from $300 to look at where we would do it at $2,500.
But that would be in a procedure.
We would put it in a procedure that all of our departments would follow. Now, the one exception, and Ms. Wilson could let us know, is I think that our sports and athletics still remains at $500. Is that correct?
That would be determined in the procedure
Yeah.
and adjusted as necessary.
Yeah. So that's what we're asking at this point.
So what you're going to do is come back to us with this administrative procedure, a more specific?
It will not be on an agenda
Language.
item, because when you pass this, what you're saying is
Mhm.
you trust us to come up with a procedure. But I would like to just bring it back to the board and put in the FYI section to say,
Okay.
this is what the procedure looks like, to let you all make sure that you're aware. If you have any questions, we can always bring the policy back up and look at that again. But we're looking at making it, right now, is at $2,500.
You said athletics, others, was it just athletics?
We looked at that. It's not just athletics. I think it was organizations,
Maybe
school activity funds. We're still at 500.
Now, is this the wording of the policy, what we're looking at right here?
That's what it
And the
would.
procedure won't be part of the policy, is that
Right.
correct?
It will not, but what we do is we take our procedures and we put that in behind the policy in our policy notebooks, and then have everybody follow that.
Okay.
And you are planning to keep that the same, the $500, or that's just something you're thinking about?
At this point, that was the guidance that we looked at earlier, and the state manual was $500.
Will the $2,500 be added into this policy written in here? It won't be.
It's in procedure.
It'll be in a procedure.
It's not gonna be in here. It's
Just
an
say
actual
less than
policy.
10,000.
This will say less than 10,000, because that would meet the state law. And technically, we would not have to get, we would not have to get any quotes up to $10,000 based on the way the state law is written. We've had this in place as a safeguard for quite a period of time. So it's caused us some headaches trying to do that when we have people on site and we're waiting on quotations. What ends up happening is we may have a company that comes through and we have something that needs to be done. Well, when they come through and they're looking at a project, it could be a small project. A lot of companies, if they are not assured work, they're not going to give you a quote. Or if we've had to ask them for a lot of quotes and they haven't received work. So what will happen is it will take us time, quite a bit of time, in order to get those in place. And we're also talking about if we have to go to Lowe's to repair a water line and it's over $300, we have an emergency and we're trying to get quotes on what it's going to be, and so we're just wanting to find something that makes a little bit more sense to how we're operating.
Any other questions or comments? Item on the floor is approve on first reading Board Policy 2.806, bids and quotations as revised. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Let's see, do we have anything else?
I hope that everyone noticed that Ms. McQueen and the State Board of Education is now saying that testing is going to be down 30% time-wise. And I hope that the publicity that we get out to the parents and the community makes note of that. And they've also got a new vendor, and they're also going to be using paper and pencil this coming year. So I'm sure the parents will like to hear that.
So I think Ms. Peters is very subtly saying, please put that in the paper and everything else.
Right.
All right.
Well, she makes a good point, though. We've said it over and over again about how much time is pulled from education for testing, and while we have to assess that, I think it
allows us a lot more latitude to do the testing as the individual educator in that room feels is necessary rather than having it mandated. And so, it's a big win for teachers.
And it only took a
Agreed.
huge fiasco to
It
prove
did.
them correct.
Expensive, huge
Yes,
fiasco.
absolutely. The next regularly scheduled board meeting will be Tuesday, August 16th, 2016, at 6:30 in the Mac Pierce Boardroom. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a
So
second?
moved.
Second.
Thank you.